Well, when we first started in 1983, I was the only person in the office. I was the one and only staff person. We didn't have heat or air conditioning, so it was a little difficult during the summer months. But it was really an honor to start off at the Legal Center. It was always funny because when we would initially go out to foundations, they would say, well, why don't the Asian corporations fund you? As though we weren't Americans. And so it was tough, but when we thought back and we looked at what happened to Chinese during the Chinese Exclusion Act, or Japanese Americans during internment during World War II, we had a privilege to make sure that those things didn't happen again, that they would never happen again.
My name is Connie Choi, and I am the Citizenship Network Manager and Staff Attorney for the Immigration and Citizenship Unit here. Our focus has really been citizenship and providing citizenship services to the community over this past year. There's a huge civic engagement gap when you look at kind of the number of folks who naturalize versus the number of people who are eligible to naturalize. So here in California, there's 800,000 people that are eligible to naturalize. Nationwide, there's 2.9 million actually. But when you look at the numbers, only 276,000 people naturalized in 2009. I'm really passionate about immigration and immigrant rights. I come from an immigrant family, and I've been able to witness firsthand kind of what it means to become a citizen, what it means to get a green card, and actually a number of my family members are undocumented, and so I've been able to kind of observe people throughout the entire process of becoming more integrated into the U.S. And so it's a really personal issue for me.
My name is Ngoc, and I work for the Orange County Vietnamese Dissolution Workshop Project. So the family law workshops in Vietnamese is to help the Vietnamese people go through the divorce process and be able to represent themselves in their family law case. The project, in fact, is the first of its kind in Orange County, and it's to help the Vietnamese people be able to access the same level of legal assistance at the courthouses. And it's important because people who don't have enough English skills are not able to access it, and now with Vietnamese assistance, they're able to fill out forms, they're able to get legal information and all of the other services that the courthouse provides in their language. I think that people should be able to enforce their rights and be able to get justice, whoever they are. And I really think that this project is meaningful because it enables people to be independent and empower them, knowing that they can get the legal assistance that they need.
I'm Deanna Kitamura, the statewide redistricting manager here. I'm working on redistricting, and redistricting is the process of redrawing the electoral lines to balance out population. It's done every 10 years based on new census data that comes out. And the reason why the Asian Pacific American Legal Center does it, works on the issue, is that it affects communities. When district lines divide a community, that community has difficulty getting fair representation from perhaps their voice is diluted, and a representative would not pay attention to that community because they are much smaller than they would be if they were a whole. It's interesting to me because it's not only related to policy, it's also related to politics. It's very empowering to a community to be able to stay unified, and if a community is mobilized, it can then, a unified community can then become very strong, and they can voice their opinions in the political process.
I'm Justin Ma. I'm the supervising attorney for the Impact Litigation Unit. And many times workers don't know that they have rights, first of all. They don't know that they can go to court. So we try to educate them on their rights, and there are also times when other lawyers won't take their cases, and so we like to step in. In the Central Valley, there's a large Hmong population. We heard that there was a problem that many of Hmong workers had with a owner of a casino. That owner fired many of its Southeast Asian employees or reduced their hours. And so we stepped in and we are trying to help them as much as we can to get the owner to admit that he did something wrong. So litigation is just one of the tools we use, and whether we win or lose, it's the process that really helps educate and empower them for the future. For me personally, I think it's just the workers and the clients are such courageous and like brave individuals. For me personally, it's great to kind of be around people like that and help them reach whatever goals that they have.
My name is Goldie Buchanan, and I'm the manager of the Parent Organization Network. The Parent Organization Network is the network of community-based organizations from across the county. We represent 5 different school districts, and we work with parents in order to impact how they're able to advocate for their children and actually help children to be more successful academically. It's been fascinating to work across culture and for the first time to build diversity within the voices that are pushing for education reform in various communities, which makes it the message more powerful because it's not just African Americans or it's not just Latinos in their community, it's Asian Americans, Latino and African Americans as well that are working together, pushing the system to change. So I love the work that I do. I'm passionate about the work that I do, and I'm dead serious about the work that I do because I feel like kids cannot continue to wait because so many children are missing the boat.
And so it's incumbent upon groups like the Asian Pacific American Legal Center to make sure that we try to not only serve, but to empower our community so that they can use their own tools to get ahead, to support their families, to build vibrant communities. And that's what we're all about here at the Asian Pacific American Legal Center, to serve, educate, and advocate, to build holistically communities that are vibrant, where the different racial groups can work together, where there's hope and opportunity for all the people who live in those communities. That's really our goal in building a harmonious society.